What's up, everyone? I'm Brad, aka Money Dad, and my kids are in the room right next door, so you might hear them in this video. Now, that said, in this video I'm going to be talking about Dave Ramsey's Baby Steps, which is a financial program for people looking to get out of debt and reach what he calls financial peace. So let's jump in. All right, so Dave Ramsey has a 7-step program to get out of debt and reach what he calls financial peace. And he defines financial peace as being able to make decisions with your money based on your values, not requirements. You can choose to make decisions with your money based on what you want to do, not what you have to do. So that's the idea behind financial peace. So with that in mind, let's take a look at these baby steps. And the baby step program really is geared for people that are really struggling with debt and need to get out of kind of a situation. That's the impression that I got anyway. I think this would work for anyone and everyone, but it's really geared for that individual that is really bogged down with debt and needs to work their way out of it. Okay, so baby step number 1 is pretty basic, right? It's the first baby step. So he says to save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. I totally agree with this. This is very important. It is probably the most important step on here, because if you are bogged down with debt and you have no money in your bank account and you have to keep paying these debt payments every month, you have no room for error. If anything bad happens in your life, you're just going to accrue more debt to take care of that issue. Like if you have an injury and you get a big medical bill, or if your car breaks down, or the list could just go on and on. If this starter emergency fund is going to keep you from taking on more debt, right? We're trying to get out of debt, not add more debt. So we need an emergency fund first. Once that has been taken care of, you've got $1,000 in the bank, you can move on to baby step 2. Baby step 2 is to pay off all debt except for your mortgage using what he calls the debt snowball method. This is where I would tweak his baby steps a little bit, but basically his idea of the debt snowball is to look at all of your debts, whether it be credit cards, student loans, personal loans, whatever you have, take the lowest balance debt and pay that off first. And then the next lowest, pay that off. And the next lowest. And the idea behind this is when you pay off a balance, you no longer have a minimum monthly payment that you have to put towards that debt every single month. So you freed up a little bit of cash flow. Maybe it was $25 a month that you had to put towards that debt every single month that you no longer have because it's paid off. So you can take that $25 and put it towards the next lowest balance. So this is what's called the snowball, right? You just keep this snowball gets bigger and bigger. You can put more and more money towards your bigger debts over time. So this is a good method. I'm not knocking that. I wouldn't say pay off your lowest balance no matter what, and then your next lowest balance no matter what. I would look at this on a case-by-case basis, because let's say you have a credit card with a 15% interest rate on it. Actually, that's probably a good interest rate for a credit card. Maybe it has a 20% interest rate on it. And you have a personal loan at 8%. And it's got an $800 balance on it. According to his debt snowball method, you should pay off that personal loan first. Even though it's got a lower interest rate, he's saying because it has that $800 balance, pay it off first. In my opinion, and both of these ways are going to get you going in the right direction, right? You're still doing good things with your money, paying off debt. But in my opinion, I would pay off that credit card first, because that interest rate is so significantly different. You are paying so much more interest on that credit card than you are that personal loan. And the balance on the loans isn't all that different. In this example, I just made up $800 and $1,000. It's only a $200 difference, but that interest rate is is a pretty huge difference, I would pay off that credit card first. Just my opinion, slight difference. Like I said, this would be a case-by-case basis because that's not always going to apply to everyone. Either way you do it, you're going in the right direction. So once you have all of those debts paid off, you move on to baby step 3. Dave Ramsey says save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. This is great. You hear this everywhere too. Sometimes you hear different numbers, 1 to 3 months, 2 to 4 months, whatever, 3 to 6. Honestly, I would just put whatever you can afford in there. Once you have all your debt paid off, just think about how much money that is going to free up anyway. So you should be able to get a good chunk of money into this emergency fund pretty quickly. Once you have your 3 to 6 months of expenses in an emergency savings account, you move on to baby step 4, where he suggests investing 15% of your household income into your retirement. And I fully agree. A lot of companies will match up to 5% of your contribution, so you should look to invest as much money as your company that you work for will match. So if that's 5%, you should be investing at least 5% every month into your retirement plan, in my opinion, and then move on to a Roth IRA. And the reason for that Roth IRA is that it has better tax implications on your money, usually. I would talk to a financial planner about this, about your particular situation, but 9 times out of 10, probably more than 9 times out of 10, a Roth IRA is going to be the best retirement account option. So once you have 15% of your money going towards your retirement, then you move on to baby step number 5. And that is to save for your children's college fund. There are different ways to look at this one as well. In our household, both me and my wife both had different experiences with college funds, honestly. My wife did exceptionally well in high school, like top 10 in her class of more than 400 kids. She crushed high school, and for that, she got a full ride to a 4-year public university. So she didn't need a college fund. My story is completely different. I had a college fund, went to college, flunked out of college, and so that college fund was kind of wasted. So that's 2 wildly separate ways to look at it. And in both of those situations, investing in your children's college fund would not have been worth it. So I'm not saying don't invest in your children's college fund. I'm saying this is a step that you really need to think about, because college costs a lot of money these days. It's a big commitment to decide whether you are going to fund your children's college education, right? They may get scholarships, they may get grants, they may not go to college. You also have to consider inflation and opportunity cost of the money that you're putting into that fund. So what I mean by opportunity cost is, if you're going to put $40,000 into this college fund, you have to consider what else you could have done with that money. Some of these college funds are just kind of like savings accounts where they earn 2 or 3%. It's a glorified savings account. It makes a little bit more than a savings account because the institution that you are putting you are giving your money to for this college fund, they're investing that money and making good money on it over time. And they're going to give you a little bit of interest on this money to convince you to give them your money. So maybe you make between 2% and 5% on your money in this college fund. You have to think, I could have made 10% in the stock market over the next 18 years as my kids grow up, right? So there's an opportunity cost there to consider. That's a step that I would consider at least doing more research on before you decide to go that route. If you invest in your children's college fund, you're still doing good things with your money. So it's hard to argue with that, right? Once you've completed baby step number 5, we move on to baby step number 6. And that is to pay off your mortgage early. This one is huge because, 99% of us, our mortgage is going to be the largest expense of our life. If you have a 30-year mortgage, you're paying interest to the bank over those 30 years. That's a ton of money that you are giving the bank to finance your house. So basically, the quicker you pay off your house, the cheaper your house is. You're not paying as much interest on it over time, so you are paying less for your house if you pay it off quicker. So once you have your house paid off, you move on to baby step number 7, which is build wealth and give. So basically what this means is you don't have any debts anymore. Your retirement account is taken care of. Your kids' college fund is taken care of. You've got money in the bank for emergencies. Your house is paid off. You have nothing else to worry about with your money, so you can do whatever you want with it. Basically, baby step number 7 is financial peace. It is where you are trying to get with this program, as Dave Ramsey says, right? You can do whatever you want without having to worry about having requirements on your money every month. Whatever you want to do with your money, you have reached that peace of mind where you can do whatever you want. You don't have to worry. So that is the plan, and I think this makes a lot of sense. It goes in a good order. You need to save for emergencies first, because if you don't have those savings, if that emergency comes, you're just going to go further into debt, and then you need to pay off your debts, and then you should build up that emergency account even further, and then you can start paying towards your retirement so that you have money to retire on. You can retire early, and so forth. So I think it's a very good plan. I just have my own opinion on a couple of the steps, but either way you go with it, you're still going to get there. So that's it for the baby step program from Dave Ramsey. You can find this at his website, daveramsey.com. He's got lots of other good things at that website. He's got books and things for sale as well, but he has a lot of free tools that you can use, which I checked some of them out, and they are fantastic. So definitely recommend taking a look at his website. Take a look at these baby steps again in a little bit more detail, get a good idea of it. If it's something that you're considering doing, hit me up, leave a comment down below, we can talk more about it. So if you liked this content, please consider subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to hit that like button. That helps out my channel too. That's all I got. Thanks everyone. Are we recording? We're recording. Let's hit record on this bad boy right here. Beep boop. And we're recording. Cool. Usa. Oh, Usa. Misa Musa. Unique New York. How now, brown cow? All right.